Hello and welcome to Michelle's Life on Repeat. I am in my other grow room, which is also kind of just another spare bedroom. You know what happens when them kids grow up? They don't take their bedrooms with them. So this is my cool, loving orchid side for the winter that maybe I need them to chill down just a little bit. I give them their chilling out table space over here. So as these guys are chilling out for the winter, I keep the heater vent in this room covered and closed. I keep the fans going. Crack open that nice cool window because sometimes it gets down into the 40s or the 30s at night. Here in the Pacific Northwest, it's easy to make a room a cool room. And the other room that you normally see me in is my everyday grow room. But what I did today was I brought in all of my Phalaenopsis, well, anything that was in flower or bloom, minus about 3 of the Phalaenopsises that I just left on the shelf because, you know, once you've seen a spike, it doesn't change much. So I have below me here a table full that normally isn't sitting here in this cool room. But let me give you a little spin around, and then across the way is sometimes when I'm filming about migraines or medical procedures or information that just isn't orchid related. This and this are both dendrobiums, and this one is the Dendrobium Victoria Regina, and she is dropping her leaves. They turn brown and they fall off, and that is what she's supposed to do in the winter. And the canes go a little more bare and bare, and eventually, if everything goes right and the stars align and I don't screw it up somehow, buds will form on these bare looking canes. They look dead and dry, but if you are not familiar with orchids, that's just because they've dropped some of their leaves. They're semi-deciduous, and the buds will come out along here. It'll be a mystery because I failed to do a proper winter rest last year, so I barely got any blooms off my dendrobiums, and so this year I'm hoping I do get them. And it way down at the bottom is a new growth, believe it or not. I'll bring it in closer so y'all can see that. A new growth. So like, what do? You're supposed to be resting plant, like not growing. But there is a new cane attempting to grow, so that means it's, it should have some help with like feed and fertilizer, but I'm at a crossroads on what to do with that. So I just missed her with the water bottle. Miss Victoria Regina has a purple colored flower. Next to her in her full winter's rest, we have Dendrobium Bensonii. My dog is at the door, and she is doing pretty good. It's all dry in there, but there is no new growth that I can see. These are her baby canes. These are what she came with. She is a newer acquisition for me, and so I have not seen her flower yet, and I have not produced any growths on my own yet. Hopefully, these are all in frame. The other one that is kind of in a winter's rest is this one. Dendrobium Gold Star, which is a cross with a Dendrobium Mollianum. And of course, she's got this beautiful fat cane from last year. One of her first canes is this dry one. And yes, she's sending up a new cane. So what do? I guess feed and fertilizer, huh? A little bit. I'm going to probably have to start taking some of these out of winter rest simply because I grow indoors. And it does not get cold in the house that much for that long. So it's across 22. It's hard to know what to do and how long to do it. I can keep my grow lights on for 12, 15, 20 hours if I want. In the natural, right now, it's like an 8 to 9 hour span of light that would be normally arcing through the sky. I didn't, back in November when I transitioned them into the winter rest, I didn't take that into account. And so they never got less light. Oops. My Dendrobium nobile, she never dropped any of her leaves. She's supposed to drop some of these leaves too. Never did. She decided she just wants to keep on growing. She's started this one before I would put her into winter's rest. And as she's in winter's rest, she has that new one growing there. So I guess I'm going to have to listen to the plant and see what she's telling me and just start feeding her and letting her grow. If she just wants to grow canes, then it's a beautiful plant. And maybe in a year or two, she'll decide, oh, maybe I'll pop out a flower. She's in the back there. Also on this table, kind of going into a winter's rest, are one other plant, because its sibling, which is hanging in the other room, stopped its roots growth and doesn't suck up any water, and she's just sitting there. And that is a Thong Chai Gold Splash. So I had been keeping her in leca and watering her, and there was a set of leaves on this bottom cane that's down here, and they turned yellow and they fell off, and I thought, maybe she's like the other one and just doesn't feel like growing right now. So I pulled back on water last week on her, and we'll see how she does. The other things I have back here that like the cool are some Miltoniopsis, and they got water. She got water today, in fact. So she's growing along good. This one came from Yoshi. Your plant's doing great. I think it's a Limart Carl Gottling, the red rim. And she's got a new growth. She's doing pretty good. And I have a piece of a Breathless, I believe it is, that is trying her best. This is, Breathless Beauty. And let me get you in close so you can see. She has, obviously I killed the rest of the plant. Now some of the plants, I don't need to go through each one of them with you, but I have three pieces of the same plant that just got water today, so if it looks like it's soaking wet. These are the Bulbophyllum mastivalaceum, and they were on a stick from Andy's Orchids, and when I unstickified them, it ended up being a lot of little pieces instead of a full mature plant. So this one has taken off the best. She has a new shoot coming way down here. I can't see what you can see, so I don't know if you can see that. But there's 3 segments. You know, it was a new plant for me. I've never had a Bulbophyllum until I bought those this year, so that's new to me. They are all Phalaenopsises except for 2 of them. The one in the front is the Dendrobium microchip, this one right here. And she has, let me zoom in on her, she has lots and lots of spikes. And if you may not remember, but she was one of my original plants that died so bad, and I killed every root on her that I had to put her in a water culture, and I did little shot glasses with glass beads in it, and slowly she gave me 2 flowers after her recovery, and then about 6 months ago she gave me, I don't know how many spikes, but it wasn't that many. And now 6 months later, she is spiking up. Let me show you her roots. She's in leca with water. She is doing well. I love this one because of the freckles, but also because of the cinnamon smell. Let's see if she has some roots coming out. I call her Woodstock. I originally named a bunch of my orchids after the Peanuts characters. But I'll see if I can get her in close enough for you to see the beauty of the dots. Try some of those. The other one that is not a Phalaenopsis is this beauty in the back. I just got her. This is Epicataleya Lime Sherbet, and I got her just 4 or 5 months ago. She came with a spike, and it was beautiful, and I loved on them. She came with, I think, 5 flowers, and then within the last month, she has decided, I'm going to give you another one. Starting in the back, we have Allison. She is so beautiful. She is a deep Merlot. I mean, I don't know what you see on your end. My camera shows it as a little bit brighter maroon, but we're talking a glass of maroon colored wine, dark as can be, with a white edge, a little bit of yellow in the lip. Let me see if I can zoom you in. So isn't she beautiful? She has produced 2 spikes for me. She is one of my phals in all bark. And Lordy, I will not change her out to anything else. She is so happy in her bark. Right next to her, we have that beauty that has bloomed. That is the one I call Cherry Blossom. She was a no ID from probably Trader Joe's or the grocery store. And I am just in love with that color. It kind of matches my shirt today. She is grown in leca with a water reservoir. Off to the side with that very tall spike is another no ID name. She has the huge leaf span, and I don't know what color she will be. It's a mystery still. So when she does bloom, we'll have to find out and give her a name. Look at how big that is. It is plenty big, those leaves. Oh, I love her. She is in a bark mix, and she is almost busting out of it. So when she is done spiking, I will probably pot her up into something else. A little bit. And there's a close-up of all those buds. In the front, right here, in front of that one no name ID Phalaenopsis with the big leaf span, is another one that I do not know the name of. And she, I believe, is 2 spikes. The second one in the back surprised me. Let me see if I can lock this in here. She surprised me. I saw this one coming, but I didn't see this one. It is a secondary spike off of the cut spike from last year. And right in front of her, we have dun, 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 my first orchid ever that I did not kill. Remember her? Him? This is Schroeder. We were waiting and waiting. Look at those colors, those spots. Schroeder has at the present moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buds. Pinky was a set of 4 that I bought, I believe, in Thanksgiving season of 2021. So this is her first reblooming for me. And look at that. It's a soft pink with little spots and yellow in the lip and tons of blooms to pop open yet. Just love that. And that yellow, the way it, oh, you just can't make this stuff. It just is the nature of the beauty of what I call our awesome God, creating all these colors. He must have had fun. Look at that. This girl has some roots going on, and I keep watering them. Sometimes I set them in water, in a bowl of water for a day or so. When she is done flowering, I hope to repot her deeper down and to put these on the inside. So I watered them every day. I spray and water them. They go from silver to green. They're acclimating and getting used to the water. You can't necessarily take one of these, tuck it in, and hope that she survives. You really have to acclimate the aerial roots to get them used to it. But I had to bundle them together so they would kind of grow in one direction. There are just so many coming out and loving life, and I cannot wait for all these blooms to open up. The two in the side here. That is my Phalaenopsis named Kim. Kim is loving life on the mount. I have waited almost a full year for some of these guys, especially Schroeder, 2-3 years maybe, to see these buds. And it is such a delight to finally get to the place where you have nurtured and blossomed and loved on and cared and threatened those guys, and they have produced. So if this is your beginning of your orchid journey, don't give up. Remember, I killed numerous amounts of Phalaenopsises and other orchids, but I've also brought quite a few little babies back from the brink of death. So it is a process that we learn, and just like life, you just keep on trying and you don't give up. I thank you for joining me today and spending time with me in my second orchid room. Until we talk again.